Greetings and welcome to another excellent World of Tanks video. I just got out of a monster comeback game and I had to stop everything and make a video about it so you guys could see this, while I'm still, not too far removed from the moment of the game completed. It was a crazy game, and the things that happened were definitely not normal, which makes it more exciting. And that's the thing, that you can't really plan this kind of stuff. It happens when it happens, and when it happens, I have to stop and make the video to get all the stuff to produce the thing to its logical conclusion. And that smoke from that shot that the Jolly Roger gives is just awesome. This is why this is one of the greatest commanders you can own, because his animations while you're in resting mode, I'm talking to you guys and you get to see all of his animations are fantastic. Shoves that sword into the floor, shoots the blunderbuss, not blunderbuss, what do you call that? Flintlock pistol. Just killer stuff. He's my favorite commander for the garage, and also my favorite commander to have in a tank, because the actor they hired to create the lines of dialogue for his character is just amazing. That guy did a fantastic, very stereotypical pirate job. A+. I don't know who that guy is. I'd tell you his name if I knew it, because he's fantastic, and it's just really a legendary performance as far as I'm concerned. So I hope you guys would leave a like for this video, because you're going to see two, I don't want to hype it up too much, but let's just say I have never been in a match with this many artillery kills made by each artillery captain. I'll just stop there and not overblow it. Let you see it yourself. It's quite something special to see, and the story of how the game progresses is really fantastic. So it's time to dispense with the pleasantries and get down to the business. So let's check it out. Welcome to the Abbey, me buckos. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm going to go and post myself on the left-hand side of the base spawn out by River Road. And as you can see, on the right-hand side is a river that runs north and south. Now, as you can see in this roster, we have 3 people and 12 robots. On my team, the blue team, we have an M3 Stewart, myself at Sexton, and POB Killer at T1E6 X1D, which is the Xbox One version. They have a Pack 40 offsetting the Stewart, another Sexton offsetting myself, and a T2 Light offsetting our E6. As you can see, that freak is running rampant in our foreground of our base. Now I have posted up and am preparing to shoot this guy. Or not this guy, but these guys, as they appear right around, say, I don't know, G8 on River Road. They're going to appear directly in front of me, substantially down the road. My 2 spotters are there at this point at Echo 8, and the enemies are going to show up, like I said, around Golf 8 ballpark. One of the things I have to do is I have to get to them shot-wise before they can get closer than this yellow box. Once they get here or here, they can't be hit by artillery at this position. There they come. So that's as far as I would like for them to get. And you're going to see some shooting, baby. Now what you'll see is every time it turns white, it's me hitting them. And I'm going to get you killer shots as they're knocked out, one by one. All right, tag. I got one right there, Sir Bounce's shot. He's in an FCM-36. He's toast. Look at this guy. He's doing it again. That T2 light. These guys are freaks. Yep, I hit that guy. Well, somebody else hit that other guy, actually. Finally, that T2 light is toast. And now we have flipped the script on these guys, as the saying goes. I killed another one, which was the M1441. We were down, you know, what, 14 to 13, and now we're up 13 to 10. So we've killed 4 in a row, including that annoying T2 light. The weakness of the T2 light is its low hit points. And the enemy Sexton just crushed our Stewart. So that was the guy who was to balance off their Pak 40. So the Pak 40 doesn't have a direct guy. And the guy that we have that balances off, I got another one, their T2 light is our E6. So our E6 is running essentially while I killed another guy, as you saw there. So the two artilleries, we stay, spoiler alert, we're the last 2 guys left in the game, okay? Wait a second, that's technically not true. I have somebody else left with me. Now he fired at me, so I have to move. Now he doesn't know where I'm going to move, so I moved up substantially from where I was at, as I was trying to look and see where he's at. He is down here all the way, Kilo 8. Just to give you a heads up on that one. And there he is. You see him right there at the bottom of the screen, and the bottom of the mini map on the right anyway. So at this point, that dude has crunched 3, and I have also crunched 3. So we're doing a, you know, step by step. I go 3, he goes 3. Now he's up to 4, and I'm still stuck at 3. But that's okay. You know, the flow of this match is going quite well. As you can tell, we're winning. And I judge these matches myself as I'm playing them. We're doing well winning. Now, one of the problems we have, we lost our Stewart. I think we lost our E6 as well. Yes, he's gone. So now, this has dwindled to myself as the human plus robots versus the human artillery and the human Pak 40. They have a slight advantage in personnel at this point because the Pak 40 is a crushing sniper. But let's just say I know some things that you have to know to be a top-notch artillery. And I'm crushing these dorks. But the problem I have is that I have 7 robots. And every robot is an imbecile. Okay, so that's the thing. They're going to get harvested by these guys because these guys are good freaking players. And you see that in this game. I have staked my team to a 7-3 lead at this point. He's shooting at me because I'm being spotted by that jerk robot. And this guy almost got me again. So I got him, and now I'm getting the heck out of Dodge. He just missed me. And now I'm turned hard left. And barely dodged that. So now it's 5-2. And this is an in-the-bag type of a situation, except look at my health. I really can't afford to be hit again. I'll be dead. So I have to go and take a circuitous route to the enemy's base because I don't want to go head-to-head with the Pak 40. Now I get a shot here at him and also at the artillery. which unfortunately doesn't work. I do damage this Pak 40, which is what you're seeing right there. I mean, I get robbed on this one. Bam, look at that. 20 out of 33, you got to be kidding me. I got robbed there. I took a shot, you know, after I went blind and couldn't see them, just to see. I go, okay, this is now, we got to get the heck out of Dodge. They've got two of those guys. They're going to be traveling together because they're not stupid. All right? And that's one of the key rules you want to do. You want to make assumptions that your opponents are awesome. And they have proven to be very good in this match. As you can see, my opponent has killed 7 guys. He's a freak. I've killed 5. That Pak 40 with his vicious gun has killed 2. You know, not a great performance by the Pak 40, but very solid. And Pak 40s are really great. If you get opportunities to make kills, they'll make kills. But if you don't get a lot of opportunities, you can only make kills for whatever opportunities you have. He's killed 2 at this moment, which means now it's 3. He's a legitimate player. And so I assumed, based upon what I had seen, these guys were actually smart and knew what they were doing. These are legitimate players. I'm not beating chumps. And so I treat them with the utmost respect for their skills. And that's why the result is what it is. I'm executing. Now, one of the problems I have is that he's also in a sexton like myself, so he has my same speed. The problem I have is I really don't want to capture his base. I cannot capture his base. I could wait and let the Pak 40 get down there. He's slower than dirt. He'd never come back. He'd never make it back in time. But I can't afford to be sitting in the base, allowing the enemy sexton to come up rolling on his base with nearly full health to hunt me down like Jaws, because my health is horrible. I cannot be the hunted target. I must be the hunter. So that's what I'm doing. At this point, when I was going towards their base, I decided I'm going to come around and catch them from behind. And son of a gun, look at that. That dude pulled up right there, and I busted him. I almost blew it, man. I almost got in front of him. So I got lucky on that one. So that dude had 3 kills. And this guy, so long, chump. He turned around, obviously, which was fantastic. And now, yours truly also has 7 kills. And like I said, you never see Artillery's 7 kills versus 7 kills. And the last 2 are man style, because there's no, you know, long range safety shot. This is up close and personal. I like to rock, and then I like to roll. Alrighty then. Here is the medal ceremony. You'll see on the far left, second place, my counterpart, the opposition artillery. 7 kills with a monster 2,300 plus damage. In the center is myself, of course. And on the right side is POB Killer. He's the guy who was in the E6X1. So, you know, he did a very good job, relatively speaking, after the T2 Light was killed. But he didn't do as good a job as he could have, because he didn't realize or was able to stay alive long enough to maximize his excellent speed. If he'd have been around at the end, it'd have been a lot easier for me, because that guy is very fast in that tank. But hey, things happen. This is not, we're not, you know, doing open heart surgery, you know, in a magnificent medical center. We're butchers. Our job is to butcher the enemy team. And butchery is not precise and antiseptic. and clean. It's messy, and mistakes happen from both sides. And by no means is anyone perfect in this match. But what separates the men from the boys is that at the end, you had the two big dogs going head to head. And really, that was awesome. It was more awesome for me, obviously, because I ended up, dodging his shot and killing him with mine. So I was very happy with that. Don't believe anything else. So I was super, super happy, and it was a fantastic result. Now, let's go check out the stats, shall we? Okie dokie. Here we have reached end of game screen with all the relevant stats, etc. Man, this was a crazy game. As you saw right from the very beginning, that T2 Light guy just had balls of steel testing our entire team. Or he's crazy. One of the two. I don't know. I don't recommend doing what he did. You do it once and get away with it. The smart guy goes, I don't think I can pull that off again successfully. And he couldn't. You're going to get the big head and get whacked, which he did. Now, I don't know. I didn't see how our M3 Stewart got killed. That was less than special. Same thing with POB Killer, because that guy also, we were given a tremendous advantage when he was alive with myself versus, as the humans, it was myself and PLB versus the artillery and the Pak 40. And that's a much better matchup than just me as a human, the lone human, against those two guys. But fortunately, I'm a expert / master player in the Pak 40. Terrific gun. I know its strengths and its weaknesses. The strengths are, don't get in front of it because it will drill you. Its weaknesses, it is slower than dirt and turns like a stone. So that's the thing. When I came around the corner and got a side view on him, he had no chance. He could not turn fast enough. There's nothing he could have done. I caught him. As long as I didn't get in front of him, I was fine. But I was close. I was assuming I was feeling that I waited long enough to get to where I was going without risking pulling in front of him. Because if I pull in front of him, I'll get killed and it's game over, basically. They'll harvest my entire squad of robots. So that part was that was the critical thing. And then once I killed him, it was just me versus the artillery. And I was, anticipating the matchup, the final matchup, perhaps more than he was, because I was executing the plan to get the shots as I came down River Road. He didn't know where I was. He didn't know what kind of engagement. He was looking out for robots. So he had more variables to consider. And these are the things. When you're under pressure in a match like this, as my dad used to say, options will screw the man. If he has options on what he has to do, it's not a guarantee that it's going to mess him up, but it is very possible that really good players see a lot of options, and, the more options you have, the more complicated the decision becomes. And that's what my dad was talking about. And my dad was big on teaching us how to win, in whatever games we were playing. So he was very much one who pounded the lesson. Execute. Know how to win the situation you're in, whatever the game is, it doesn't matter. And that's what was happening. I was executing. I set up a situation. I've executed it many times. I'm an expert in this execution of this. And sometimes in the split second of the moment, he fires and misses. I fire and don't miss. And that's why I'm here as the evictor. And, he's there as the outstanding performing second place finisher. So it's not a question of you're good, he's not good. Both were awesome, but you're awesome differently. You're never going to be awesome exactly the same way. You do the best you can in the situation and go with it. If it goes the other way and he wins and I lose and I'm in second place, I'm like, great match. You get down to those as a competitor. You want to get to the situation where you have this one-on-one winner-take-all situation, because you want to test yourself. Am I going to execute? I'll execute it all the time. So no, there's no surprise. I'm not surprised that I executed it. I'm happy that I executed it, because I did the thing I have trained myself to do. You're not going to be 100%. You never are. So it's not a surprise that you win when you win. But it's like, yeah, that was really great, and vice versa. If you're on the other end, you get to the situation, you're like, well, if I don't win, did I do my best in that moment? And if you did your best in that moment, hey, no problem. Do better next time if you can, or make yourself better, etc. So, like I said, it's not a question of one of you is garbage because you lost, and the other one is great because you won. Both of us were awesome. The numbers were just ridiculous. In fact, I'll show you. I didn't really get very many medals just because of the way the shots went. Got the Stark medal for killing the two of them, on the road at point-blank range. That's where that comes from. The Bruiser, knocking out crew members or modules. Top Gun for killing 6 guys, and then second-class badge. Second-class badge, that's fine, Now you'll see here, second on the team, PLB, a very, very good result for a Tier 2 light tank. But it's a killer light tank. He could have done more, is my only, regret. Potentially, he could have done a lot more, because he's, it was 3 people, but 2 of them were Tier 3s, myself and the Steward. And basically, after the Steward was killed, and since I'm artillery, that leaves PLB as the top skill guy on our team that could move around, okay? When the Steward was gone, that's a Tier 3, he's gone. Artillery doesn't count for mobility. Like, I did move around at the end, but that's not what I'm talking about. You don't have, shark mobility as an artillery, okay? Same thing on the other side. He was just terrific in his Sexton. Pack 40, look at those numbers. You do 1,000 damage in a Pack 40, you've had a very good game. He's probably had better games than this. But if you're in a Pack 40, it's very limited mobility. You'll take $1,000 and go, yeah, that's a good game. 2,300 is a fantastic game. Okay, it's absolutely fantastic. Their T2 Light, when he died, that was all their speed gone. So it was a huge mistake for him to throw his speed away. Same thing for PLB. He threw his speed away after the Steward threw his speed away. So, mistake to allow this death here. Well, for myself. For myself, this guy, the Steward, made a mistake, got killed prematurely. Same thing for PLB for my level. If you want to be a top level contender in these matches, you have to hold yourself to the standard that I'm doing. To be a top-notch competitor, you don't die like he did after this guy died, because now you should realize, oh my gosh, I'm the only guy left that has any speed. And that speed is a huge advantage. And when you lose it, you're making life difficult. In this case, since this guy was dead, when he dies, if he gets killed, which he did, that leaves you with just artillery. And no matter how great you are in artillery, bad stuff can happen to you just like the bad stuff happened to him when I got a hold of him. So you've got to be less risky when you're the last speed guy on your team. That's one of the lessons that you're learning from this match. He did not respect the power of his speed to the point where he should have been more careful. Oh well, you know, you do the best you can. I mean, he did a solid job, but if you want to be better, you're going to have to think better. Okay, so, you know, their T2 light threw his speed away. Very, very dumb move, okay? Because in the beginning, a smart guy goes, okay, look, on this team, the T2 light is the only speed guy, and this team has one speed guy, two speed guy. So he needed to be very careful, which he was not. He was very, you know, very gutsy, which I can applaud that element, but it wasn't very smart. Because he left ultra slow man, you know, and we're middle speed Sextons. Okay, so we go like upper 30s. All right, the Pak 40 is slower than dirt, bro. It's like 20 on flat ground, something like that. It's not good. It turns terrible. So that's the thing you have to look out for. You've got to be aware of your team's configuration and what assets you have, and the smart players are trying to maintain specific assets, especially when you have one of them, like speed, or if you have a power tank. Like if you're in a match and you're the last strong heavy tank on your team, like a Tiger tank. That's an asset that can't be replaced. So you got to play differently, you think differently about how to manifest the advantage of your asset. So, you know, the numbers were fantastic. I kicked butt. And that other dude, he kicked butt in his Sexton. I mean, look at those numbers. I mean, 7 kills, I had 7 kills. 2,300 plus damage. Well, you know, he had 600 damage more than me. I mean, my score is great. His score is even better. He's got 600 plus more damage and another, 300 plus spotting. He had a monster game. If he wins this game, he's going to be close to an ace, but maybe just a little short. The ace badges are super difficult to get in the Sexton Artillery, I'm telling you. It's nasty stuff. You have to make a lot of kills, which both of us did. But you got to score, and he scored. So it's one of those deals. He would have been close had he won, but when you don't win, it's way tougher to get that ace. It's, I mean, really, really tough. So that worked out for me. I wasn't doing the badges. I already got my artillery badges. So it's not a problem for me. But it was a tremendous match, which you saw. Shockingly, 10 minutes exactly in length. What kind of luck was that? You couldn't plan that any better if you tried, because you'd fail miserably. Now, one of the things about Sexton Artillery is fantastic. When you score like I scored, I cashed 77,000 silver. Terrific. Normally, I will average about $5,000, you know, if I play 20 matches of Sexton Artillery, I'm going to average about 100,000 experience for those 20 matches. Some will be higher, some will be lower than 5,000, but it'll be around a 5,000 average, plus or minus. Yeah, I mean, I might go 95,000, I might go 120, depending on the luck factor. Okay, this game was double the normal scoring, 10 grand, and that was with no boosters. This is why the Sexton Artillery is a killer commander builder, because as you see, I'm working on commander skill on this one, getting pretty close actually. That 10 grand was very helpful. So let's go take a look at this guy, shall we? So he's got 5 skills. We're working on skill number 6, which in this case, I'll tell you what the deal is. The skills on this guy, let me run these through. We'll run through these for you if you're building your skills in a Sexton Commander, like the one that came on sale in the store this week. I use the first one, Quick Learner. what this does, 10% bonus on each one. And when you get down here, this one is 255,000. Because of 10% bonus, I'm only going to have to earn about 230,000, 235, something like that, maybe 238 or whatever, 239, and then the bonus part, the 10% bonus will kick in and I'll cash there. But when you're in that last one of 1.5 million, I'm just telling you because I know that's what it is. That's showing you the total. When you're in skill 9, it's 1.5 million. That means you're going to have to earn about 1,350,000 instead of 1.5 million. So when you go through the whole process, that 10% bonus helps you. It does occupy a slot. When you get to the end, you get to, clean it out and reset it, and you're going to end up gaining this back. So, quick learner to start with. First one we get, you're building this, you can play this right off the bat with just a reload skill. After the reload skill, what happens, the best thing you can have is the accuracy. When you add the accuracy skill, you're going to have, at that point, you're going to have the quick learner, reload, and accuracy. The accuracy will drop to 0.51. The next skill, Born Leader, this will be the last time you can drop the accuracy skill number, which means it's more accurate. And it will drop to 0.45. That's the most accurate artillery in the game. This is number 1. Okay. So we get that on the 4th skill. We have a very low reload speed. And actually on the 4th skill we have the minimum the minimum reload time, which is 5.47. And we achieve the maximum accuracy after it's really just these 3. It's the reload, the accuracy, and the Born Leader. Those 3 give you 5.47 reload, the fastest reload for regular artillery. There's a Russian artillery that loads faster, but it does smaller damage per shot. And then it also gives you the 0.45 accuracy, which is the highest accuracy for any artillery in the game. So this is the 1st skill, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. This is the 5th one, minus 5% damage by armor angling. Now my next skill usually depends on what I'm doing. If I want to continue with artillery, I'll get the binoculars. If I want to put it to another tank and then, and then work on the stats in that tank and build those up, then I would possibly consider, like if it was a Tiger tank, they have a bad turret rotation, so I'd add rapid aim, which is increased turret rotation speed. So things like that. I'd be looking for a specific item. Sometimes I've also put it in a tank that has like a 20% fire chance, and so the 6th skill would be fire prevention. So it all depends what floats your own personal boat. Let's just take a look quickly. If you had a certain sniper tank, you needed it, you could go with Iron Mace. That's another good one. Run and gun could be useful for light tank players. Everybody's different. If you're using a machine gun type gun tank, then Deadeye is devastating, especially if you had something like a Cold War 4AD or a Brennus. This thing would be awesome because it's that chain gun is just nasty when you're doing fire damage. Other ones that come up to, certain snipers, again, can make good use out of camouflage expertise as a 6th skill. These not so much. If you want to, you can use the 6th Sense preferably for snipers and even rocket snipers. Binoculars is really good for, say, Sexton artillery or any other artillery for view range. Again, there's the fire prevention, which is really good. So it's all depends. Now, and here's one for example. If you had a Panzer 5.4 or some tank like that, then this ramming skill would be awesome for skill 6. So it just all depends what you want to do. If you're in a fastish tank that can ram people, like maybe a British Sentinel or a Sherman tank, then Controlled Impact would be another great choice. So there's a lot of great choices. They're going to fit your personality of the style you play the game and what advantages they bring to your certain tank. Now, if you have a slow tank like a Pak 40, then a Controlled Impact is really of no value to you. It's not good for ramming at all. It's good for protection against ramming by ramming tanks. That's good defensively. But Controlled Impact has an offensive and a defensive component. It protects you from being rammed, protects you from ram damage from being rammed, and it also adds to the damage you do when you ram somebody else. That's the deal. So that's kind of the thing about the Commander that this game would help, to show you. So we've covered really the meat of this game, which was, a fantastic game, a great struggle, very close, and it got to the point where I was able to build a lead for my team, but it was just robots, and robots aren't that great, and they were already harvesting my robots when I finished them off at the end, which was lucky for me. So it's just one of those things that it was a great game with a great result from a comeback. It wasn't as much, it's not exactly a numerical comeback because we weren't down by numbers, but it was just me as the lone human versus two guys in crushing tanks in the match. The other artillery, the guy was awesome, okay? There's no question about it. He was an awesome player, did a freaking great job. Never played against him before, but an outstanding job. The Pak 40 is a devastating tank. Let me show you a Pak 40. I'll show you my own personal Pak 40. Okie dokie, this is my personal Pak 40. My record in this tank is 8 kills. It's hard to do because it just moves super slow. In fact, let's look. How slow does this go? On flat ground, it says 29. Trust me, that is bull. That is downhill. What that number is, 29 sometimes will give you the flat ground speed negative on this tank. That will give you the... It's going down a hill, and it won't go faster than 29 unless you drop it off a cliff. Then it'll go faster than 29. But rolling down a hill, 29 is the max you'll get. It is super slow. The rotation is terrible. The hull rotation is really bad in this tank. So it's very good in accuracy. In fact, let's look at this. The gun accuracy on this dude is .30. That is what I call sniper quality when you get .30. What do we got here? Yeah, downhill 29, not anywhere else for sure. Suspension. This is all it's already maxed out. I mean, it's a premium tank. There's no upgrades as you can see. So here, Pak 40, camouflage net, speed, and I'm being generous when I use the word speed. Now, you have two choices really. Vision, which is what I chose to increase my vision, or you could go, really, everything else is worse. This one, I thought this one had a fan, but it doesn't. It's an open cockpit, so it doesn't have a fan. Really, to me, the thing to choose is the advanced optics, because we get a vision on this thing of 512 with this commander, which is a good commander. Check out this commander. Now, most people don't have a 7-skill commander in a Pak 40. But, again, quick learner, reload, accuracy, deflection of 5% damage, extended vision on top of the vision upgrade on the equipment, born leader, and fire prevention. Because the fire prevention on this tank is, I think the original fire percentage is 15%, and it only goes down once you put the fire prevention, and then you're going to get a boost out of the rations, and you also get a boost from the born leader. Okay, so Pak 40, vicious tank. Believe me, it doesn't rotate this fast. It rotates like this. This is about the speed of the rotation when you're turning in this tank. It is not good. So I'm just giving you the heads up there. But it's very accurate, packs a punch. And that at tier 3, it's got a tier 3 punch that's as, that's as good as any sniper there is. There might be one that's better than this in tier 3, but this one has a heck of a punch. And it is a no-joke shooter. You don't want this guy shooting at you in tier 3 because it'll kill you. That's why I was so careful and make sure I don't want to get in front of this guy because that's a one-way trip, and it's not good where you end up. So the Pak 40 is tough. It's a toughie. So you've got to be real careful. But that's what, separates the men from the boys. That guy on the opposite team, artillery, that guy knows stuff like I know stuff. He knows his game. He did a great job of shooting. 7 kills, man. 2,300 plus damage. He almost killed me too, that jerk. Which is testament to the skill that he has. So, a fantastic game. Fantastic for me, man, because I won. And it was not a gimme. So, it was a good stern test, and I passed it. So, I hope that you guys enjoyed this match and all the extra lessons that come with it to help you in your own games if you have any of these tanks or are considering acquiring any of these tanks. Tell your friends if you would. That'll help them to learn, like, and subscribe possibly as well. So that's the end of the video. It was really great to have you here. I look forward to seeing you guys again. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon.